Met in college. Both played at Division III school in Wisconsin. So we were both
He
players.
started flirting with me first. He started it. That's a hard
What was
one.
our first date?
I don't know. I think you took me to a movie or something.
Yeah, it was probably your standard dinner movie. First impressions, I think I was probably really nervous.
What about you?
I thought he was cute. Cute and funny.
Thought. I've known Dave since I played in college. I knew his older brother a little bit better than Dave initially, and then we kind of, when we were coaching early in our careers, coached against each other. And when he went off to Indiana, and we kind of did our thing too, I think that we kept really good contact together. You know, at the convention, and he'd come to visit us, we'd go visit him. So when this job opening opened up, it was a little bit of a shock because we'd been friends for so long and hadn't really ever talked about working together. And when it all happened, it was a little bit surprising, I think, but it made a lot of sense too because we train in very similar ways. I think we all have a lot of trust in each other, so it's a pretty good match.
I think the university is beautiful. I mean, you look around and they've done a really good job as far as keeping up and make it looking, really collegiately looking, I guess. Muncie is your typical small town, and I grew up in Milwaukee, which is obviously a huge city, but going to school in Whitewater, and then we lived in Oconomowoc, and down in Texas is small communities, so we were used to it. I think it's a good community. I don't mind a small community, especially now that we have a family. We just hang out at home or do stuff, go to the park or whatnot. So it's good for us. I really enjoy it.
I would say, I think probably what the toughest part is managing having a 2-year-old too, and getting him back and forth to daycare and school and preschool things. But it's during the season it's generally chaotic anyway. So it's nothing overwhelming for us.
Yeah, we're used to it.
At times it does. I think a lot of times though, we try to keep it, I don't know if we intentionally try to keep it separate, but it just doesn't necessarily come out. I think if there's a lot of stuff going on with the team, I think then it comes up, but generally it's when we're at home it's kind of separate a little bit, I guess.
What'd you say?
Not necessarily conflicting where we're arguing, but we will definitely disagree.
And can you kind of describe?
It's not a lot. I remember when we were at our old school, not necessarily here so much, but at our old school, it's more about like personnel and who should be doing what and who shouldn't be doing what. And sometimes I have a different perspective being female and kind of what's going on the court than he does. And so we talk about it. Sometimes we agree to disagree, but I think that's for us, we can really talk and figure out a good solution. And like I said, my female perspective sometimes, is a better perspective.
It's funny because I think that sometimes people assume that because we're married, we're just going to think the same and back each other up on everything, and it's real different. I think our relationship is very different than our coaching relationship, and we have our own viewpoints, and we have probably 95% of the things we agree on and conceptually, but there are some other things that we have our own opinions, and just like anybody else would.
Men are always right, so.
Yeah, right.
You can go.
I would say it's a joy that you can't really prepare yourself for before you're a parent. It's just it makes a tough day a lot easier when you see him at the end of the day. At least for me, or after a loss, it's pretty tough it puts things in perspective. It gives you a good balance in your life, and he's awesome.
Yes, I would agree. It'll probably make me cry to talk about it, but he's a good kid, and he's, like you said, it's a bad day. Well, you go see him, and you go pick him up from daycare, and he's, Mommy, 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 or Daddy the same way. So he is a joy. He's a lot of work, but he's a good kid, and I'm glad that he's in our lives, obviously.
She's incredibly dedicated to not only our family and helping things run behind the scenes, But to the sport itself, the amounts of sacrifices that she gives to this program, I don't know that there's another volunteer assistant, at many other schools that do the things that she does. She's got some pretty heavy responsibilities, and she does them incredibly. I guess I'm constantly in awe at the things that she's able to juggle. It's pretty impressive.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we talked about it, and our last school I was the head coach and Steph was my assistant. I think eventually that'll happen, but for now, we're busy building this program, and it's a lot of work to do that. And I think that dominates most of our time is what can we do to make the program better, recruiting wise and training wise, all the different aspects of the program. I think right now is our main focus. I don't know that we've ever been able to get to that level with different coaches, but there are a number of husband-wife teams. Michigan has it, Texas A&M, Missouri, Ohio's. His wife is his volunteer assistant. I think there's a few others too. Iowa State.
Iowa State.
In old Iowa. I don't know. I think what it says to me is that it's an opportunity for a husband and wife to, and especially in coaching because there's so many hours that you put into it. I think it's a way for a husband and wife to share, or to maybe just be together, outside of volleyball and during volleyball. Because I think if there was an opportunity, or if we weren't working together, for us to see each other, I think would be a real stress on our.
Yeah,
on our
it would be
time.
more stressful than actually working together, I think. And it's not stressful to work together, but you see a lot of basketball, football coaches' wives that kind of have their own thing and never really get to see their husbands. So I think it's good that we can work together so well, and we can make it work so we can actually spend some time together and be together. So.